If you ask most people what it takes to be happy, you'll hear familiar answers: wealth, status, exotic vacations, a perfect partner, endless excitement. Our culture relentlessly pushes this narrative. Advertisements scream that the next purchase will finally complete you, influencers flaunt curated lives, and self-help gurus promise peak productivity as the golden ticket. But over 2,300 years ago, a Greek philosopher named Epicurus saw through this illusion. He argued that much of what we chase in the name of happiness actually makes us miserable. The truth, according to him, is both simpler and harder to swallow. We've been lied to about what happiness really is. The misunderstood philosopher. When most people hear the name Epicurus, they imagine someone who indulged in endless pleasure, a sort of ancient party host. This is because the word Epicurean has been twisted to mean lover of luxury, but in reality, Epicurus preached the opposite. He lived in a modest garden community outside Athens, wore simple clothes, ate bread and olives, and drank water. His philosophy was not about drowning in pleasures, but about finding freedom from unnecessary pain, fear, and craving. In his own words, "When we say that pleasure is the end and aim, we do not mean the pleasures of the prodigal, but freedom from pain in the body and trouble in the mind." For Epicurus, the highest form of pleasure wasn't luxury, it was peace. Why the modern world gets happiness wrong. Epicurus believed that most people fail to find happiness because they confuse means with ends. We think money will make us happy, so we pursue it endlessly. But money is only useful insofar as it helps us meet basic needs. Beyond that, it often fuels anxiety, competition, and greed. The same applies to status, fame, and luxury goods. They may offer a temporary rush, but they also make us dependent on factors outside our control. Epicurus warned that such dependencies set us up for disappointment, because anything the world can give, it can also take away. Modern science backs him up. Studies show that beyond a certain threshold of comfort and security, more wealth has a negligible impact on happiness. Our endless scrolling, shopping, and striving often leave us more restless than fulfilled. Epicurus' formula for happiness. Epicurus proposed a radical solution: strip life down to what truly matters. In his view, happiness rests on three pillars. Friendship. Epicurus called friendship by far the greatest contributor to happiness. Unlike wealth or fame, friendships are rooted in mutual care and shared joy, not competition. In his garden school, students lived together, sharing meals and ideas daily. Modern loneliness statistics suggest he was right. Close social bonds are more predictive of happiness than income or career success. Freedom. Not political freedom alone, but freedom from unnecessary obligations, toxic relationships, and constant hustle. Epicurus encouraged living simply so you wouldn't be enslaved by debt, work demands, or social status games. The fewer chains you have, the lighter your life feels. Thought. Epicurus saw philosophy as a daily tool for peace of mind. By examining our fears, especially fear of death, he believed we could dissolve much of life's anxiety. His reasoning: death is nothing to us, because when we exist, death is not present, and when death is present, we no longer exist. The three kinds of desires to live well. Epicurus advised sorting our desires into three categories: natural and necessary desires. These are essential for happiness and survival: food, shelter, safety, friendship. They are easy to satisfy and lead to peace of mind. Natural but unnecessary desires: pleasant but non-essential, gourmet food, luxury clothes, fine wine. Enjoy them if they're easily available, but don't depend on them for happiness. Vain and empty desires: wealth for its own sake, fame, power, immortality. These are limitless, hard to satisfy, and often cause more suffering than joy. The key? Focus on fulfilling the first category, be cautious with the second, and ignore the third as much as possible. Why this feels so counterintuitive? Epicurus' view can feel almost disappointing at first. Where's the adventure, the grand ambition, the thrill? But he'd argue that these are only worthwhile if they don't shatter your peace of mind. The tragedy of modern life is that we chase stimulation instead of fulfillment, thinking they're the same thing. Ironically, when you stop trying to squeeze happiness from every experience, you create the conditions for genuine joy. A simple meal with close friends can feel more satisfying than a lavish banquet in a room full of strangers. How to apply Epicurus' wisdom today. Audit your desires. Write down what you think will make you happy. Then ask, is it natural? Is it necessary? Can it be satisfied easily? You might find that half your goals are vain and empty. Shrink your needs. The less you need, the easier happiness becomes. Swap luxury for comfort, complexity for simplicity. Invest in relationships. Make time for friends without distraction. Shared laughter over coffee beats silent scrolling any day. Limit exposure to status games. Social media is a vanity trap. Curate your feed or take breaks entirely. Face mortality calmly. Remind yourself that life's finiteness gives it flavor. The fear of death often robs us of life before death ever arrives. The lie we're sold. The lie is simple: that happiness is out there, waiting to be captured through achievement, consumption, or admiration. Epicurus flips this script. Happiness, he says, is already within reach. It's a matter of needing less, not acquiring more. In the end, perhaps the truest luxury is the ability to sit under the sun, with friends nearby, and feel no lack in your heart.